Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, Democrats win a seat in the Florida House, a seat previously held by a Republican. Democratic candidate Margaret Good earning 52% of the votes, handily beating Republican James Buchanan by 7 percentage points. Libertarian Allison Foxall finishing a distant third in a race that drew an impressive 36% voter turnout. The seat became open after Republican Alex Miller abruptly resigned last year. And a big celebration at Madison's 41 restaurant in South Sarasota last night for Margaret Good and her supporters. Cheers broke out when it was announced Good had won the race. Her campaign raised more than $700,000 and was endorsed by former Vice President Joe Biden and former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley. But Good says it was a community effort that pushed her over the top.
A whole host of volunteers and supporters that came out because they believed in what we were doing. They wanted to see a change in Tallahassee, and they got behind it by knocking on doors, by making phone calls, by making contributions to the campaign, and without them, I wouldn't be here today.
Good says affordable health care and protecting the environment are a few of the top issues she wants to tackle in Tallahassee. She also wants to champion small businesses and workers in our area. In Washington, President Trump's longtime personal lawyer is now admitting to paying tens of thousands of dollars to a porn star. ABC's Serena Marshall has more from Washington on what we're now hearing.
Adult film star Stormy Daniels has reportedly sent mixed messages over whether she had an affair with Donald Trump in 2006 at a Lake Tahoe golf tournament years before he became president, but just months after wife Melania Trump gave birth to their son, Barron. Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, allegedly admitted to the affair in a 2011 interview, but has since issued a statement denying it. Now the president's lawyer, Michael Cohen, is admitting to paying the porn star using $130,000 of his own money. Cohen said in a statement, neither the Trump Organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, and neither reimbursed me for the payment either directly or indirectly. The payment to Ms. Clifford was lawful and was not a campaign contribution or a campaign expenditure by anyone. Cohen did not say whether Mr. Trump knew he made the payments. Reports of an alleged affair between Daniels and President Trump resurfaced after a Wall Street Journal report alleged that she was paid $130,000 just before the election to keep her from publicly discussing her relationship with Trump during the presidential campaign. And In Touch Weekly published a transcript of a 2011 interview with Daniels in which she said Trump, then a reality TV star, invited her to his suite where they later had sex. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, Daniels would not confirm nor deny any of the details.
Is any of that true?
Define true.
The admission comes after the government watchdog group Common Cause asked the Federal Elections Commission to investigate whether the payment was an illegal use of campaign funds. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
The Trump administration wants to deliver food directly to food stamp recipients. The president's budget director compares the proposal to a home meal delivery service like Blue Apron. The USDA America's Harvest Box would be sent to 38 million people, filled with staples like milk, fruit, grains, meat, and pasta. The Trump administration claims the program would save nearly $130 billion over a decade. Food stamp recipients would get about half of their monthly benefit. A second federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration's efforts to end the DACA program. A New York State judge ruling DACA participants and states are likely to succeed in challenging how President Trump ended the program. A California judge made a similar ruling last month. The president announced last year the DACA program would end on March 5th. Congress is now trying to negotiate a plan to continue or modify the program that protects young undocumented immigrants from deportation, but there has been no breakthrough yet. New at noon, the White House says President Trump has been briefed on a shooting at the NSA headquarters in Maryland this morning. 3 people were hurt and a suspect is now in custody. Aerial video shows a black SUV which appears to have crashed into a barricade at the facility. NSA officials say the incident happened at an entry gate and that there is no ongoing threat right now. Developing overnight, 2 people are dead and 3 injured after a shooting in New Orleans during Mardi Gras celebrations. In a video sent to us from our sister station in New Orleans, you can see an altercation developing between police and what appears to be someone who knew one of the victims. That crime is still under investigation. Earlier in the day, 2 other fatal shootings happened near the Mardi Gras parade route Neither of them are connected, and police are still searching for one suspect. Across the world, Christians are celebrating Ash Wednesday, which signals the start of the holy season of Lent. For 40 days, many believers give up something like their favorite food or activity to remember Jesus' fasting in the wilderness. Lent lasts until Easter Sunday, which is April 1st this year. This is also National Donor Day, a day to celebrate those who help save people's lives by donating blood, bone marrow, tissue, or even organs. In most cases, they save the lives of someone they've never met. If you'd like to give back, you can make a big difference by donating blood or plasma. This year's flu epidemic has left a greater need than usual for blood donations. Finally, time to play some baseball as the Baltimore Orioles pitchers and catchers hit the field for the first time for spring training 2018. Position players won't actually report until later this month on the 18th, but the baseball season already felt in full swing as they warmed up today. Most days, the players will be on the practice fields behind Ed Smith Stadium from about 9:30 until 12:30. The Orioles' first spring training home game is set for next week, Friday, February 23rd. The Orioles will host the Tampa Bay Rays. The Pittsburgh Pirates also opening their 50th spring training season in Bradenton this morning. But before they hit the field, some members of the organization were helping at Bradenton's nonprofit called Our Daily Bread by Feeding the Hungry. ABC 7's Ray Collins was there and has more on what the team's doing to help the Suncoast community. Ray?
Scott, in honor of their 50th year on the Suncoast, the Pirates have planned 50 community events this spring. That includes this morning at a nonprofit near the stadium called Our Daily Bread. Pirates staff help pour drinks and serve food to some of the 250 people who use their services each day there. Baseball team front office workers said it's important to give back to Bradenton whenever possible.
It's more than just a baseball. The players get out in the community. They make it an effort to give their time.
So it's really important to us, especially here in Bradenton, being the southern home of the Pittsburgh Pirates, that we give back as much as we can when we do have the full team here during spring training.
Other events this week include serving lunch tomorrow at Meals on Wheels and also delivering coffee and donuts Friday to the Braden River Care Center. First game is a week from Friday in Port Charlotte against the Rays, and first home game is the following Saturday, a week from this Saturday, against the Yankees. Big game there. Scott?
We'll have a few people up for that one, that's for sure. Yeah, thank you, Ray. And John is with us now to talk about our weather today. And yeah, so clouds around, but you know, no rain. So I think
not yet.
Okay.
There might be a few scattered showers around, but you know, we're not talking about a rainy day.
Yeah, nothing to interfere with spring training.
No, I don't think so. Nothing that would slow them down. Not a little rainfall, right?
Yeah.
We have across the region a lot of cloud cover caused by a frontal boundary in the process of decay out there. The front really didn't bring us much in the way of any kind of cooler air. We started off the morning actually a little warmer than we were 24 hours ago because the cloud cover kind of acting as a blanket kept the temperatures up. The Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows that cloud cover persistent and kind of thick across the region. I do think it will be mixing away though, and as it mixes away, we'll see more and more of the holes in the clouds that you're already beginning to see here. I think we'll have a fair amount of sunshine over the course of the next, probably hour or two, and that will help boost our temperatures pretty rapidly once the sun pokes its head out. The frontal boundary, as Scott was kind of alluding to, really not triggering off much in the way of a rain shower chance around here. We'll put the chance at about 10%. And really, that's about it. They'll start later in the afternoon and then kind of gradually drift toward the coastline as they die out. We'll go with about 82 as a 3 p.m. temperature. Again, that's a warm temperature for this time of year. By 7 p.m., we'll be at about 72. And then as we head into the overnight hours, dip down into the 60s once again. We have some changes, perhaps, coming up over the next few days. We'll talk about those coming up in a few, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. This week, we're revealing the top 5 most dangerous intersections on the Suncoast. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us today at the 3rd most dangerous, State Road 70 and Lockwood Ridge Road in Manatee County.
On an average day, more than 60,000 cars travel through this intersection of State Road 70 and Lockwood Ridge Road, making this a hot spot for congestion.
It's terrible, and I think it's just because of the, the construction and just the growing business and stuff create that kind of activity.
For 20 years, this Bradenton resident has been living just a few miles away from this intersection.
I came down here when it was an asphalt road out here with one stoplight. The lights, or the turn lights and stuff were too short, and it backs up traffic quite a bit.
The Sarasota Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization is working with partner agencies like the Florida Department of Transportation to see what can be done to reduce the number of severe crashes and congestion.
We're analyzing specific intersections and looking at what can be done from an enforcement standpoint, an education standpoint, an engineering standpoint, and an evaluation standpoint to help bring down the number of fatalities and serious injury crashes within our region.
This isn't the first time this location has been identified as a dangerous intersection. So far, it's been reported more than 17 cars were involved in crashes at this intersection within a 2-year span, making State Road 70 and Lockwood Ridge Road a spot with a high crash severity rate. Thursday morning, we'll be giving you a look at what the second dangerous intersection is on the Suncoast, starting at 5 a.m. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. A follow-up now on the ongoing battle between the city of Holmes Beach and a couple's beachfront treehouse. The city issuing a notice on January 18th directing the owners of the treehouse to apply for a demolition permit. The deadline for the owners to demolish the treehouse was February 9th. That deadline, of course, has come and gone, but the treehouse is still standing. According to the Islander newspaper, the owners say there will be no demolition. Still to come in your Suncoast News, who is healthier, single people or those who are married? We'll have the answer straight ahead. And dramatic dashcam video of police stopping a runaway car on Interstate 95 in East Florida.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC 7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I knew that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Sarasota Opera's 2018 Winter Opera Festival is here, featuring Puccini's Manon Lescaut, Bizet's Carmen, Bellini's Norma, and D'Albert's rarely heard Tieflant. For more information, go to sarasotaopera.org.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert Weather app now.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So temperatures across the region are generally holding in the upper 70s most everywhere. A few kind of mid-60s, mid-70s rather, 76 in Venice, 76 in Inglewood. Northport comes in at 77 and Lakewood Ranch at 76, Parrish at 76, Bradenton 76, 78 in Sarasota. And then you get into the kind of upper 70s in some places, 79 degrees in Punta Gorda, 77 in Northport. I think we'll see these temperatures kind of start to spike a little bit as we head into the next couple hours and the sun returns just a tad. So what we have seen over the last 24 hours is a slight shift in our wind directions as well. The wind's now coming out of the east-northeast at about 8. I think we'll see even a more northerly direction as we head into the afternoon. And I think a combination of that little bit of switch in the wind direction plus the cloud cover that we had to burn away, which used up some of the solar heating, will keep our temperatures today probably a degree, maybe 2 cooler than they were 24 hours ago when we hit 83 degrees. So we'll see how that plays out, but in any event, this is going to be a very subtle cool down. We'll still be running well above average. We're at 78 right now, and there's no reason to think we won't certainly be squarely in the 80s as we head into the afternoon. We'll go with about 82 degrees by 3 p.m. We'll start working in that chance of a shower later in the afternoon. Now, these are going to be isolated, small little showers, well inland, and they'll tend to die out as they gradually drift closer to the coast during the evening hours. We'll keep that 10% in for about 7 p.m., but really we'll be in the last gasp of the showers by then, if there are any still left. As we head into the overnight, temperatures drop down into the 60s. Futurecast shows hour by hour. We'll go through and you can see a few scattered showers around, nothing really heavy as we go into the 7 o'clock hour, not much. A few might pop up again in inland areas during the late night period, but those will kind of fizzle out before they ever make it to the shore. So those will really not be a player in the coastal forecast. Overnight, we'll see some perhaps clearing as we head into the morning tomorrow, and it might be a little bit clearer sky. The reason for that is the frontal boundary that's kind of meandering across the area and producing those showers in parts of the deep south, the Ohio Valley, and back into the mid-Atlantic will start to decay. This front will be bridged over by this ridge of high pressure, which kind of pushed it a little bit further southward over the last 24 hours before it just stalled out. And when that happens, the front just vanishes, basically gets mixed away. And we are left with warm and partly sunny skies with just an isolated sprinkle possible and some slightly cooler temperatures. And I don't mean a big dip in temperatures. Here are nighttime lows, and I think maybe even this might be a little exaggerated and overdone. Nighttime lows will dip into the low 60s, I think. Will we see a 50? Maybe in inland areas, but that won't be very widespread. And it won't last long. By the time we get to the weekend, moisture will return and the temperatures will start to rise as we see a bit of a wind shift. Northeast wind comes in at about 10 knots, shifting a little more easterly during the overnight. 2-foot seas, light chop. And for today, we'll go with about 83 degrees for a temperature on this Valentine's Day during the evening hours in the 70s. Overnight tonight, or tomorrow rather, 81 degrees. And then over the next several days, slightly cooler, but not all that much. And then as we head into the weekend, we start to warm back up again. And guess what? Next week, we could be solidly in the mid-80s. Some computer models even hint at perhaps warmer than that. So we're in for a long-term spell of warmer than average temperatures. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you. In Health Smart this Valentine's Day, is it healthier to be single or married? ABC 7's Stephanie Webb is here with the answer. Stephanie?
Well, Scott, there's nothing like this day of love to really spotlight your relationship status. But when it comes to actually being healthier, it's a little of both. First, a 2013 study found that being married may significantly improve your chance of surviving cancer. Another study found that married folks had less heart disease and healthier blood vessels. However, married couples do sometimes have higher stress levels and higher depression levels if they're in an unhappy relationship. And now there are advantages to single life too. A better night's sleep for one, no snoring partner or one that takes all those bed covers. Plus, if you're single, you are more motivated to work out and eat healthier with the hopes of attracting your future partner. And if you're planning on giving the gift of chocolate this Valentine's Day, did you know that you're also giving the gift of good health? Kind of. While it may be linked with love and romance, chocolate also has some healthy benefits because it has nutrients called flavonoids that actually help increase the flow of blood to your heart. Now, one study says that even as little as 1/4 of an ounce of chocolate every day may keep your heart doctor away. Dark chocolate, that is, though. Even better, chocolate can improve your mood, which is a good antioxidant as well, and it can also help lower your inflammation levels. But don't go crazy. Dark chocolate still has some sugar content, so you do have to enjoy it in moderation.
I like that chocolate plan. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Time now to get over to the kitchen and check in with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who has a guest with her today, Chef Christian Hirschman from the Overton. Judy?
Well, that's right, Scott, and happy Valentine's Day to you and all our viewers. Christian, I'm really glad you could join us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're going to be preparing a dish that is going to be served at the St. Jude Festival?
This dish is not going to be served at the St. Jude Festival, but mainly because it was Valentine's. I thought we should maybe focus a little bit on that today.
I love that about you.
Yeah.
We're excited about your new restaurant, and you can find out a lot more information on the event by going on mysuncoast.com. But today's dish is...
We're doing a pink gnocchi.
Pink gnocchi. I'm really excited about this. And gnocchi really is something that's pretty easy to prepare, and you're going to empower our viewers, right?
That's right, exactly right. Very easy to prepare, something that really anyone can do.
I think it's a great idea, and I guess we'll run out and buy some dark chocolate bars, according to Stephanie, so we can all be healthy. I like that excuse. So stay with us throughout the hour, as Christian is going to bring us a beautiful pink Valentine gnocchi today.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month, or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some of the best are music to your ears, like the Alabama Music Hall of Fame. Or head over to Muscle Shoals and Fame Studios. Are you a star yet?
My mama thinks so.
Or, if that's your stomach I hear grumbling, our barbecue is almost a religious experience. Food good here? Best in the country. Alabama's got 100 road trips.
Which one you gonna take?
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Of a movie when police stop a runaway car speeding down Interstate 95 on Florida's East Coast. This was after the driver's gas pedal got stuck, sending him careening down the interstate at speeds up to 100 miles an hour with no way to stop. Troopers threw down stop sticks, which finally deflated the BMW's tires. The driver was not hurt. BMW released a statement saying the car did not have any recalls, and they will work with the FHP to figure out what happened. Here's something that would be scary to see out the window of any airplane. A United Airlines flight lost its engine cowling on the way from San Francisco to Honolulu. That's the piece of metal that covers the engine. The pilot called the situation an emergency due to the engine's vibration, but was able to safely land with no injuries to any passengers or crew. The FAA is now looking into exactly what went wrong. All right, back to the kitchen now and check in again with Judy with guest chef Christian Hirschman from the Overton. Judy?
All right, this is going to be an easy dish that's going to empower you, so Christian, take it away.
Great. So one of the things we could do at home is we could start with cooking potatoes. So we take a simple Idaho potato, which we have over here next to us. We'd peel it. In the restaurants, we use a lot of this vacuum bagging, so we like to vacuum pack the cut potato and then cook it in water, but you simply can cook it at home just like you do mashed potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and open up our bag here,
And I love the whole sous vide process. And nowadays, there's several different machines that you can buy.
Right,
and it's
add
really easy to learn in the directions how to do. So you get a really consistent product.
Very consistent. Then we, and with the gnocchi, it's nice because you won't let any of your starch bleach into the water. So you want all that starch to bring a nice dough together. So then we go to a food mill, which is an old tool here, and we crank and kind of mash or rice all of our potatoes into a little bowl here.
My Nana used to have this type of tool. I remember
this is a great old tool.
Right.
One of my favorites. Can be used for thinning out sauces, ricing mashed potatoes, or in our case, doing the gnocchi. So we'll get enough in there. One large potato can easily do 2 guests. So
That's, boy, so value-centered. I like that.
So then we have the white potato in there.
Okay.
Then I'm going to have you, Judy, pass me a little flour.
You got it. Now, you had mentioned if you need to be gluten-free, there's a trick to this recipe?
Right, so we're using regular flour here, but you certainly could use rice flour.
Perfect.
Or any of the alternatives without gluten.
Perfect.
For 1 potato, it's about 2 cups.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and add,
chef measurements.
Kind of chef measurement there. And then to make it pink, we're using a little bit of beet juice. So thank you.
And where can you buy? See, you brought in the jarred beet juice,
That's
which
right.
is so much easier to get.
Great
Where
product.
can we find that?
This one is from Publix, and it's a Florida farm that makes this beet juice. So how great is that?
Local, I love it.
Local, we go ahead and reduce it by about 3/4 or so, and then you're going to end up with about a tablespoon in the mix with your potato and your flour.
Okay, and that's going to give us that beautiful color. So we have about 15 seconds left.
Great, so then we'll pull that together and we get it on the board here, and then we're going to go ahead and start working that.
I'm going to move this out of the way
Yep,
so
thank
people
you.
can see. You got it. How long do you have to work the dough?
Not very long. I mean, you just want it to come together so it's not sticky.
Gotcha. Now we're going to leave you with your pile of pink goodness.
Yes.
I can't wait. We'll be back in just a few minutes to saute some up and try a great bite.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long con.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
It is the time of year when the roar of engines takes over Suncoast streets. I'm Joey Panic. On Suncoast View, we'll preview the 20th anniversary of Thunder by the Bay and talk about the changes over the years for this annual event. Plus, there's plenty of singles here on the Suncoast. A dating coach will bring us survival tips. Plus, Manatee players previewed the Hunchback of Notre Dame and Michael's Wine Cellar in the Kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. The Sarasota County Fire Department is bringing a new app to the Suncoast.
We'll tell you why Pulse Point could help first responders save lives tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we're looking at some pretty quiet conditions on the Suncoast once again today. We'll scan radar and give you the hour-by-hour forecast bright and early tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Coming up, the fallout continues after the FBI contradicts the White House's timeline involving former aide Rob Porter. Plus, why Israeli police say there's enough evidence to charge Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in 2 corruption cases. Why lawyers are fighting to keep a lottery winner's identity anonymous.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story this half hour, new fallout over the domestic abuse scandal involving one of President Trump's former top aides. The FBI is now contradicting a White House timeline, and there are major questions about security clearances inside the Trump administration. ABC's Kenneth Moten has more from Washington.
Contradictory claims are swamping the Trump White House. The administration's story shifting over who knew what and when about the domestic abuse allegations against the president's former staff secretary, Rob Porter.
His background investigation was ongoing.
The White House first saying the FBI was still conducting Porter's background check when his 2 ex-wives alleged abuse, one releasing this photo of her black eye.
The White House had not received any specific papers regarding the completion of that background check.
But in a stunning twist, the president's own FBI director, Christopher Wray, told senators his agents actually gave the White House reports on Porter 4 times, starting nearly a year ago.
The FBI submitted a partial report on the investigation in question in March, and then a completed background investigation in late July.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders yesterday shifting the blame to a little-known office in the White House.
The White House Personnel Security Office, which is staffed by career officials, may have received information, but they had not completed their process and made a recommendation to the White House for adjudication.
The fallout leading right to Chief of Staff John Kelly, who told the Wall Street Journal he wouldn't have handled the Porter situation any differently, saying it was all done right. The Porter scandal has revealed dozens of top Trump officials, including the president's son-in-law and advisor Jared Kushner, still don't have permanent security clearances after a year in office. The White House is refusing to comment. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Bristol Palin's marriage is reportedly coming to an end. People magazine confirms Palin's husband, Dakota Meyer, has filed for divorce. The couple tied the knot in 2016. They have 2 daughters. Palin, the daughter of former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin, also has a son from a previous relationship. Palin and Meyer had a few bumpy moments in their relationship. They called off their original wedding date just days before they were supposed to wed in 2015. Israeli police say there's sufficient evidence against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in 2 corruption cases. Police say evidence shows Netanyahu, quote, accepting bribes, fraud, and breach of trust. Netanyahu denied the allegations and said the police suggesting he be charged with corruption will not change anything.
Think about the good of the country, not for personal reasons or for the press, but only for the country, and nothing will stop me from doing this. Not even the attacks against me. And believe me, they are never ending.
Police stopped short of formally recommending charges be brought against the Prime Minister, as that decision will rest with the country's Attorney General. In New Hampshire, lawyers for a Powerball winner that won more than $500 million now trying to retain her privacy. Her lawyers say she should be allowed to claim the $560 million prize while remaining anonymous. But the district attorney says transparency is important for public faith in the lottery's fairness.
To identify who the winner is. Who the winner is. People want to identify that. And why? Because they want to target her for their own personal reasons.
And I don't have discretion. This is a public document. Her name is on the back of it. I cannot by law alter it. We're a government agency, right? This is not my money. This is not our money, the chairman and I. This is not our money. This is the people's money.
Some lawmakers are trying to change the rules surrounding anonymity for lottery winners. Lawyers advise that if you ever win the lottery, consult with an attorney and create a trust before signing that ticket. Let's get another check on our Valentine's Day weather. Some clouds around, but hey, the warm temperatures are still with us, aren't they?
Wish I had that problem, though.
I know, I was just thinking that, yeah. A lot of people would.
Yeah, the clouds are still here, but, you know, I think if you had plans out of doors this evening, you wanted to dine al fresco, whatever, it shouldn't be a big deal. Good. Should be all right. Yeah, and the temperatures will be very pleasant during the evening hours, I think, maybe even a little less humid. Our Sarasota Bay webcam put into motion shows, you know, a little bit of cloud cover, yeah, to start off off the day, but also some clearer skies there. The further out you go in Gulf waters, the less cloud cover that you're probably going to see. We do have a stalled frontal boundary over us, and mostly the cloud cover right now kind of over land, but that will be in the process of decaying away. All part of a larger scale stationary front that stretches across central Florida and is producing that cloud cover. It's really going to kind of just dissipate away by the end of the day, I think, and that should leave us with clearer overnight skies tonight. Not much in the way of any kind of rainfall associated with those clouds that you're seeing there. They're pretty thin layer clouds. That's why they'll mix away fairly easily with a little daytime heating. We will put in about a 10% chance of showers because of the moisture that is around, because of sea breeze that might form, and because of the frontal boundary in the process of decay. As we head into the afternoon, daytime high tops out in the low 80s. Complete forecast in a few. Scott?
Thank you, John. Happening across the Sunshine State, the Sky Connect is officially open now at the Tampa International Airport, marking the completion of a 3-year project there. Starting today, all guests who park in the Economy Garage will use the Sky Connect to get to and from the main terminal. That train ride takes less than 5 minutes. The Sky Connect also stops at the new rental car center, where there are a lot more options than there used to be. Guests will now have twice the number of rental car brands, from 8 to 16. The Sky Connect track covers 7,000 feet, and with it opening on Valentine's Day, the airport is using the hashtag #LoveTrain. A Broadway actor is among 6 men busted in a prostitution sting in Naples. Police say 53-year-old Patrick Bowl offered money to an undercover cop for sexual acts. Bowl recently appeared in a Broadway version of Mamma Mia. He was also on TV shows like Gossip Girl and The Good Wife. Bowl was arrested alongside a Lee County judge, a pastor, and 3 others. A woman accused of kidnapping a newborn girl from a Florida hospital 20 years ago and raising her as her own enters her plea in court. Gloria Bolden Williams pleading guilty to kidnapping newborn Kamaya Mobley from Jacksonville University's Medical Center about 20 years ago and interfering with custody. Williams is accused of posing as an employee at the hospital and then leaving with the baby. Tips led police to the teen Williams raised in South Carolina just over a year ago, and then tests matched her DNA with that of the kidnapped baby. Prosecutors say even with a large amount of evidence, it only took a few key details for them to have their case.
The proof really amounted to DNA evidence and some admissions. There isn't really much more to it than that. It just, it would be a lot for anyone to go through, and we have gone through it, but it doesn't really affect the case much.
Williams faces up to 22 years for the kidnapping charge and 5 years for the custody interference charge. A sentencing hearing is now set for May 3rd. Happening right now here in the Suncoast, Manatee Memorial Hospital is hosting a meeting on the region's opioid crisis. That meeting is open to the public. It's being led by a doctor discussing the nationally recognized Alternatives to Opioids program. The current crisis has claimed the lives of more than 165,000 Americans. And just for some perspective on that number, that's more than 3 times the number of U.S. military deaths during the Vietnam War. 6 Manatee County business owners are accused of selling vapor products to minors. Undercover sheriff's detectives pulled off a sting at more than a dozen locations around the county. A person under 18 was sent to 14 locations with the intent to buy vape products. 6 of the stores failed that test, and those clerks have now been issued notices to appear in court. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies arrest a man on multiple felony drug charges. Deputies say Austin Stunkel called 911 to report a false home invasion while he was under the influence of narcotics. When deputies arrived, they say they found drugs and paraphernalia. Stunkel now faces 5 possession charges. Sheriff's deputies also arresting a man and woman in connection with the abuse and neglect of a 4-year-old. That investigation began after deputies responded to a home last month to help DCF investigators while they performed a welfare check on the child, staying with Jennifer Fedima and Shane Samuels. The couple says the child suffered a facial injury after falling in the backyard, but deputies believe it was a result of a punishment from the parents. That child is now in protective custody. And 3 neighbors are facing criminal charges after a fight broke out in their neighborhood. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies say it started at a home on Flamingo Boulevard when a neighbor confronted Amos and Raul Trevino about a fire in their backyard. Investigators say Amos grabbed a metal trailer hitch and hit the neighbor. And then when another neighbor came in to help, deputies say that person was attacked by Raul Trevino, who was swinging a PVC pipe. Deputies then say Jessica Garay stabbed one of the neighbors with a grilling fork. They're all now facing charges. All right, let's get back to the kitchen now and check in again with Judy Gallagher and her guest today, Christian Hirschman from the Overton.
Okay, Christian, you rolled out the potato gnocchi dough. And what do we do next?
So now we rolled it out. So now we're going to go ahead and shape the little dumplings or the little gnocchis. And I like to do a little pinch and just a little pinch like that. And we cut them real quick.
And the pinch is kind of hold it together
kind of make
better,
a little pillow. And I also, to hold some of the sauce, you know, we'll take a fork and make some little indentations to also kind of grip some of the sauce.
This is easy and fun to do, to cook together in the kitchen.
And those are going to go in water just like any pasta. We're going to cook those.
For about how long?
Till they float, until they float. It depends. Our water's not quite boiling, but it's very hot, so it'll take a little longer, but you know, a couple minutes.
Okay.
But really what you're looking for is for them to float.
Okay, so I'll keep an eye on the floating.
We got those floating. We went ahead and did a couple off camera just so we meet our time restrictions.
That's right, that's right. Although I could have you cook all day. Now I notice you're using ghee. Let's talk just for a moment about the importance of cooking with ghee.
Right, I love ghee. I think it's a nice way to be able to cook at a high heat and add a little bit of that flavor. Starting to pop up more and more in kitchens, Western kitchens.
And it's clarified butter. And
right.
back in our day, I'm a lot older than you, back in my day, you know, we would have
yeah.
the big pots and have to keep cleaning off that
That's
foam.
right.
But it will hold a higher temperature, which is
right,
great.
it has a nice smoke point or burning point. So, and it adds a little bit of that richness to the dish, like
and lessens
butter.
fat.
Yep.
So what's
That's
not
right.
good about lessened fat, pure butter?
Right, and we've found out more and more about fat, as you know.
Right.
There's these healthy fats, and so this is a great fat to introduce. So then we're going to go ahead and just start to brown our little gnocchi.
And now, is it hard because it's that deep pink color to judge when it's brown?
Right, that's a good point. So right, you keep a little eye on them.
Okay.
And you're going to get more texture than you'll get, you know,
Gotcha.
the real golden brown. You will get some
Gotcha.
oranging and a little bit of coloring, which we can see.
Yeah.
I like to kind of leave them alone a little bit and
Okay.
let them really get a nice sear, at least on one side, and then we can kind of do the chef thing and kind of start hashing them up in the pan.
Great.
We'll hit them with a little salt and a little bit of pepper. Thank you.
There you go, sir. And I'm seeing Parmesan and pine nuts.
Parmesan and pine nuts will finish. For this one, I just did a little bit of parsley, fresh parsley.
Oh, I love it.
Just in the pan.
Great. Now, we have to get going, but when we come back, we'll have the parsley and the pine nuts ready to go, and we are celebrating a delicious Valentine's Day, and we'll remind you more about the St. Jude event that's coming up on the 23rd.
That's right.
Thanks, Christian.
Thanks.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call, let us give you some peace of mind.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs is Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs is Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs is Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we have a 78-degree temperature outside right now with a dew point value of 66. Just that little bit of sunshine that we got peeking through some of the clouds has helped boost our temperature up in the last couple of hours, so that's good. I think with a little bit more sunshine, which I anticipate us getting in the afternoon, we can boost that temperature up even further, probably into the lower 80s. East-northeast wind comes in at about 8, and the dew point value is at 66. Go with about 82 degrees by 3 p.m. Slight chance of a shower. Little showers in inland areas gradually drifting to the coast as they kind of fizzle out. We'll keep that rain chance in till about 7 o'clock, and we'll probably be able to take it away after that. Toward midnight, 69. And then as you wake up tomorrow morning, expected temperature of about 66 degrees with kind of a mix of sun and clouds out there. Here's the Futurecast. We'll put it into motion. Like I say, a few scattered showers popping up from time to time. And then as we head into the evening hours, we'll kind of wind it down a little bit. There might be a few scattered showers left, but by midnight, it should all pretty much be over. And then just that little bit of cloud and clear sky mix for the evening and overnight hours. Maybe a little bit of patchy fog forming. That's a possibility again tomorrow morning. But all in all, it should be pretty nice day again tomorrow, and again kind of a warm one, though with the winds shifting further to the north, we might actually start to see a little bit of drier air and a slightly cooler daytime high temperature, and I do mean slightly. Subtle differences at most. That's all we could expect. Chance of storminess, well, chance of regular old thunderstorms anyway in parts of the deep south up through the Ohio Valley as we go into the afternoon today. Nothing severe here, but still, if you are traveling to areas like the Nashville Airport or other places, Kansas City, there could be some airport delays because of weather. We will not see anything like that around here. Showers and thunderstorms in progress at this hour up through areas around Cincinnati, the Ohio Valley stretching back down toward New Orleans area, all associated with a frontal boundary and a low pressure area. No issue for us. Our high-pressure ridge to the north will bridge over this frontal boundary, decay it away, and we'll be left with warm and partly sunny skies. Isolated sprinkles or slight drizzle chances possible. Otherwise, slightly cooler conditions will prevail. For boaters today, not too bad. Winds are fairly light coming out of the northeast, shifting north, and then eventually out of the east during the overnight. 2-foot seas and just a light chop on your bay and inland water. Check the water temperature out now. It's 70 degrees close to shore, so pretty nice stuff out there. 10% chance of showers, 82 the high. As we head into the next couple of days, I think we'll go with 81 tomorrow and maybe upper 70s on Friday, maybe low 80s. And then as we head into the weekend, I think a warming trend will start that'll carry us into the mid-80s by the time we get into the beginning of next work week. Scott.
John, thank you. In consumer news, it's Valentine's Day, and romantics and cynics alike can agree that today comes down to two things: love and money. Karen Caifa has more on one city that's home to two of the biggest names in Valentine's Day spending.
Fountain, sweet jazz, and a red bridge laden with lovers' locks. Kansas City just might be in Cupid's bullseye. It's home base for two huge names in Valentine's Day spending: Russell Stover chocolates.
We have strawberries in milk, white, and dark chocolate.
And Hallmark cards.
Valentine's Day is huge for us. It's the second largest card sending holiday, of the year.
America's sweethearts will spend $19.6 billion on Valentine's Day this year, and the National Retail Federation estimates most of that will go toward cards and candy.
Russell Stover has been selling this iconic card since 1923.
Both of these companies with long histories at the heart of the holiday. Hallmark's Valentine archives go back more than 100 years.
We started carrying Valentine's cards as early as 1916. And of course, since then, we've carried thousands of Valentine's options for every type of relationship need.
And this year's Valentine's line spans more than 900 cards. But Kansas City's small businesses feel the love too, like Christopher Elbow Chocolates, in business for 15 years here.
I know people kind of talk about it being our corporate holiday, but the benefit for small businesses is you just can't measure that.
With most Valentine's Day products already crafted for sale, the frenzy is more at store counters this week. The pressure less on sellers and more on buyers. In Kansas City, Missouri, I'm Karen Caifa.
Well, still to come in your Suncoast News, who won the crown at this year's Westminster Dog Show? We'll have the winner right after this.
Head over to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota, where you'll always get better prices and a bigger selection, like the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wrangler JLs in stock now. Or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $18,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Why do that?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Thousands of award-winning Honda SUVs are on sale from $189 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You've got to see these SUVs. Get a surprisingly spacious 2018 HR-V, $189 a month, or step up to Pilot for $289 a month with available seating for 8. Plus, we have Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, the 2018 CR-V, and Ridgeline, a Car and Driver's 10 Best. All on sale for up to $3,805, less than the competition, at your local Honda dealer.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now. It's time to plate up, and I'm ready for this bright, delicious lunch.
Great.
Now, is that orange or kumquat that you added?
I put a little orange juice in there. I just kind of threw the peel in, let some of the residual oil get in there. You know, this dish you could add little bits of bacon, spinach.
Ooh, I love that
idea. Lemon juice.
Spinach, yeah.
We brought a nice Pinot Noir.
Beautiful.
So I always think of bacon and Pinot Noir.
Now, while you're plating, and I have your Parmesan and your pine nuts right here, tell us a little bit about the Foodlosophy.
Foodlosophy, Friday the 23rd, so coming up in a couple weeks here, roughly. Great event. This is the 3rd annual, I believe. 5 of us, different chefs in town. You know, raising money and cooking for our community to
it's so exciting.
Bring awareness to St. Jude's and raise some bucks.
It's so exciting. We really appreciate it, and all the people that are supporting this event. And I'll be out there. You can find more information about that on our website, along with this beautiful Valentine's recipe. But you can make this any day for loving and simple. Let's put it right over there.
Perfect.
And I do get to taste one, you know. That's the best part of the job. Oh. It's so perfect. Great job. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, Judy, thank you so much. Finally, today, there's a new top dog in town, the 142nd Westminster Dog Show. Picking this year's winner, the Bichon Frise, named Flynn. won Best in Show. The competition, it was a tough one with nearly 3,000 competitors from more than 200 breeds taking part. Part of the non-sporting group, Flynn is the first Bichon Frise to ever win Best in Show, and quite a lovely ball of puffiness.
I know. We have a local woman, Kiki, who is one of the judges for that, so pretty impressive.
Yeah, I saw her on The View. It's amazing the credentials that those judges have to
know.
have. Ridiculous how much they know about dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder if the dogs actually know that they're winners. I've heard some people say that they do. That they recognize, they know when they get out on the ring that they're performing.
It's time to compete.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's cool. It's a fun show. A few scattered showers inland today. That's certainly possible. Bob, of course, tracking that on radar this evening with updates on computer models as to what to expect in terms of temperatures for the next week.
Okay. John, thanks. Judy, thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Enjoy the day, everyone. And we'll see you again at 5.
If you've never truly loved your car, you've clearly never owned a Subaru. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester for just $219 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down during the Subaru True Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.